The Winter School Microfinance in Action took place from the 24th of September to the 8th of October 2016. 8 selected students from the MA in Human Rights and Multilevel Governance, accompanied by Professor Alberto Lanzavecchia and by Luca Gazzolla, flew from Milan to Kathmandu and traveled around different areas of Nepal in order to study on the field how microfinance can help developing countries in eradicating poverty and reducing inequalities in a human rights perspective.
How the idea of this project, Microfinance in Action, was born?
Human rights are designed to protect and enhance human conditions. Microfinance is an economic tool suitable for changing the life condition of people involved. Therefore, it's easy to see that natural link among finance and human rights. Taking inspiration from this simple concept, I designed an on-field learning experience around impacts of microfinance into people, their communities and environment.
Hi everyone, I am Ludovica. I am a student of the Master degree in Human Rights and Multilevel Governance of the University of Padova. And now I'm here in Nuova Delhi for waiting my next plane for participating to the winter school in Nepal called Microfinance in Action. I'm so happy and eager to visit Nepal and to participate to this cycle of lesson about microfinance.
Why is so meaningful for you to bring your students to see and experience realities?
Mathematics can be learned in classes, but business ethics and human rights need a step further. It is essential to verify their effects on the field where students can meet and discuss with people and face reality.
Nepal ranks 145 out of 188 countries according to the UNDP Human Development Index. 25.2% of the Nepalese population live below the national poverty line. Around 3/4 of the Nepal workforce is involved in the agricultural sector. Poor access to finance, basic infrastructure, market and primitive farming practice render rural areas incredibly poor. Poverty has been increased by at least 2.5% after a tremendous earthquake in 2015. Approximately 8 million people were affected by it. Nepal has a rich culture with an estimated 40 different races and tribes and an incredibly varied geography from lowland to the highest mountain in the world.
The first part of this project was aimed at receiving an academic background on microfinance as an economic development instrument. We worked together on the first week with other 8 Nepalese students from the Apex College in Kathmandu. We attended lessons at the college and took part at different meetings with experts from microfinance institutions.
This is our first day in Kathmandu. We just arrived in the Apex College and we are ready to start this adventure.
Microfinance institutions are growing quickly in Nepal, affecting its market economy. Microfinance is primarily a social type of banking. It's a tool for enhancing economic development and social inclusion within the reach of everyone. The professors of Apex College, Bharat Singh Thapa and Kishore Dunanga, explain us why now is crucial to teach microfinance at a university level and why it's important to commit ourselves in this project.
I think there are 3 reasons behind starting microfinance in the university level. The first is that the career. Of course, if you look at the last few years, the number of microfinance institutions now they are increasing, and if you look at the Nepalese case, in last 5 years, the number of microfinance have been double. And who are managing these microfinance companies? They are not from the microfinance, background. So the microfinance study will help the students to find the good career in the microfinance institutions to manage them well. And the second, of course, is the research opportunity in the microfinance, because there are large number of large amount of money that is going on in the microfinance development, basically from the INGOs, international donors, but the result is not as per the expected. So what is the reason behind this, and why this is happening? So if we have a study in the master's level or university level, we can have the answer of this question, and we can do something better. And third, of course, is being a human, right? We need to contribute a bit for the poor, right? So if you have a good study in the microfinance, you can serve poor with your heart, right? From your heart, and that will definitely contribute in the sustainable development goal that is recently set.
Our third day in Kathmandu. We are actually inside the Apex College, and today we will have a lesson about microfinance in Europe, and then the students of Apex College will tell us about some cases that they studied about microfinance in Nepal.
That really motivated me to become a more teacher than a banker, because in banking industry somehow I was in a higher position, and then the lot of innovative things are and the creative things are not happening, and I realized that if I come to the college and then start teaching, and I can pursue my further education also, and I can basically the major motivational factor is that I can be a part of the success of other people, and I can really motivate people to do good things in life, because I have got a mindset that every human being should be a good human being. It's not only about being successful in career or making more money. So by thinking that, I came to this college. It's been 5 years, almost 5 years that I've been teaching to the students on a full-time basis. That's whole-time teacher I am here. So far I'm really happy, and then I think I'm doing good thing for the earth.
After this academic exchange, we had the possibility to experience how microfinance works on the field. These are the microfinance institutions in Nepal. Microfinance institutions operating and providing financial services in Nepal are regulated since 2006 under the new Banks and Financial Institutions Act. There are 4 categories licensed by Nepal Central Bank. Historically, the Nepalese microfinance landscape were dominated by NGOs activities. After 2006, NGOs operating in Nepal tended to transform themselves into microfinance development banks. Currently, Nepal Restra Bank has a specific microfinance supervision and promotion department. It regulates licensing for new institutions, conducts financial literacy programs, and continues to issue directives to protect customers. We hear from Dr. Prakash Srestra from Nepal Restra Bank how microfinance is regulated and promoted at the governmental level.
Actually, Nepal is a developing country. We have the high rate of poverty. Still, the one quarter of population are under poverty line. So we thought the microfinance is one of the measures to reduce the poverty. That's why we're focusing on the microfinance area for a long time, and it has been expanding too. So still the central bank here has to focus on the developmental role too. So we are focusing on financial stability too because of having the international standard regulation and supervision sort of things. At the same time, we are focusing on the expansion of the financial, the microfinance. That's why we will be helpful for the local development and the overall development of the poor people or deprived people or the underdeveloped area.
One of the institutions we met was the Center for Microfinance in Kathmandu. CMF was initiated in 2000 with the aim of strengthening microfinance institutions, either banks, cooperatives and NGOs, and enabling them to reach the poor with a variety of financial services. CMF works as an umbrella organization for microfinance institutions, creating an actor among and providing training and example of good practice. CMF, having realized that one of the main problems in the Nepalese financial sector is over-indebtedness, they tried to find an answer to this sensitive issue.
The microfinance provide for the working capital loan. That's why they have no idea that their friend took the bigger size loan and they are interested to give the same size. And when we realize these things and we start a session on our regular training that how to appraisal the credit, how to calculate how much money they really need for their business. And we convince the client also. During the group meeting also, when they demand for credit, the loan officer, they roughly calculate and said that you need this much of money, why you are taking bigger size loan? This will make you difficult. This way, when the staff is talking with the group members and she realize and she agree to get the small size loan. That is one way. Second way is that during the CGT, the client compulsory client training or pre-group training. During the training also, some of the microfinance, they put some sessions about the appraisal of the loan. This way we are supporting to bring the client bring down from the loan over indebtedness.
The meetings continued, and after a long journey we reached Pokhara. Here we discovered how a B-class bank works in microfinance field. Muktinath Vikas Bank was established in January 2007. It is licensed as a development bank. The bank is committed for good corporate governance practices and banking activities with prudent banking culture. We learned from Mr. Bahadur how microfinance is not a charity tool in eradicating poverty, but a means that requires training and commitment from both microfinance institutions and customers with the aim of starting a virtuous circle.
Definitely microfinance is the financial services that designed to the low-income people. Mostly low-income people, they do not have any asset to put as a collateral in a general banking system. This microfinance system has developed especially for the low-income people so that they can get capital to run their business, either new business or the existing business. That microfinance loan and creates the capital, and they can earn more money from that capital, and they accumulate assets so that they can increase their income level. This is the mainly way that they come out from the poverty. Other microfinance services like savings, remittances, and insurance products, that is also most necessary to the low-income people, because all the people, they must have to save their earnings in the safe way, and that must be a reasonable return they must have to get. And other way is low-income people, they do not have direct access to the insurance companies, and they cannot buy the insurance. So microfinance institutions or microfinance services that provide opportunity to protect themselves or cover risks of their losses. So microfinance is the complete bundle of financial services that provides all kind of services to the low-income people, especially targeted to the women. So these sort of financial services, they able to protect themselves, they increase their income, and they get some non-financial services also from the microfinance, that is such kind of capacity development, leadership, or some sort of trainings that directly help them to come out from the poverty, especially for the low-income people. So microfinance is the one of the best tool to fight against the poverty. Yeah.
Beside these institutional meetings, we visited farms and other businesses developed thanks to the microloans provided by Muktinath Vikas Bank. We interviewed the borrowers in order to understand to what extent their life has changed after they got access to the credit. We were hosted in a guest house run by one of the borrowers, and the day after, we joined a reunion of a women group near Pokhara. Microfinance banks works only with group of people and not with individuals. The loan is provided to the group, and it is the group that has to manage it and to decide how and by whom it should be employed. This holds responsible the community, and at the same time, the individual can rely on the group's support in facing difficulties and overcoming them. This attitude enhances the process of women empowerment at the local level.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are in Pokhara. Yesterday we moved. After our long trip, we arrived late in Pokhara, and this morning we joined the cleaning campaign organized by a local bank.
The Muktinath Vikas Bank is an active social actor in the region near Pokhara. Thanks to its commitment, we joined an environmental cleaning campaign aimed at mobilizing the civil society and raising awareness about this sensitive issue.
This cleanup campaign is today we are in 18th week. It started on the World Environment from the World Environment Day, and continuously on the Saturday in the evening at 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Muktinath Vikas Bank has been actively participating in this event. This event is organized by the Civic Society of Pokhara and many other youth clubs, mothers group, and community organization, they have been participating, and actively participating by the government official also, and the security personnel also, they have been involving. It is our corporate social responsibility that Muktinath Bank has been supporting, like gloves, safety gloves, and masks, and the other cleanup tools. It's not the completion of this event, it's now ongoing, and in other places also we have been supporting for cleanup campaign. It is our responsibility. We are the part of the society, so it's our responsibility to be involved in the society. Now altogether approximately from nearly 100 employees of Muktinath Vikas Bank every week they involve in this campaign. They are involving voluntary. Just we have fixed the schedule that 7 o'clock starts and 9 o'clock ends. Then Muktinath Vikas Bank's employees, they come voluntary and support in this campaign.
The second part of the winter school has been devoted to discover other realities in the Nepalese context, more focus on human rights, gender inequality, social discrimination and right to education. The group traveled to Butwal in the Terai region. The Terai region is the most densely populated area and is known as the grain house of Nepal. Here we met Aman Pariyar. He is a human rights defender and with his association Farmhouse Nepal has developed a comprehensive approach in eradicating poverty among marginalized people. We hear directly from Aman what does it mean being a Pariyar in the Nepali society today.
My name is Aman Pariyar and I am from the western part of Nepal where Buddha was born, who is recognized around the world, sign of peace, Lumbini. I came from a backward community, marginalized community who has been through very difficult social discrimination. I am now 25 years old and I know the circumstances that I lived until now as a Pariyar. We were the group of people, we were the one slavery of rich people or people from higher caste, people who were superior in the society. So we were in a way used as like a machine without any priority. We were left alone, just we were not allowed to take education, we were not allowed to participate or be included in social things. So we were in a way excluded one. I always had a question myself, why I born in Pariyar family, what is our identity? I mean, it was not our choice. So it was not my choice that I said with my mom or with God, to those who believe in God, that I said I wanted to take birth in a womb of Pariyar family, in Pariyar family. That was not my choice, So that was something that I received. So it is really painful to live through that situation. But when I used to think I am the worst one. But later, when I know different project activities and I love to travel, I love to meet with people, I really wanted to try to do something from me to this society, so that legally And in our constitution of our country, the recent constitution that we had after a long Maoist revolution, it says equal right for lower caste, higher caste, all people. But that is not real in the society, because I have seen and I have faced that sort of injustice and discrimination. So in this society it has rooted. So it will not go away until we work on it. It doesn't work just on a piece of paper. So it has to work in a root, in a society. I think the key thing that we can think can help to reduce discrimination can be education. We absolutely need to give priority for the education. This is not a thing that can happen in 2 days, tomorrow. It will take a generation, but absolutely education. We have to address many lower caste people because of a low economic situation. They are not even having a will that we heard yesterday. Even they have a desire, they wanted to do that, but they cannot because of the situation. So they should be able to ascend them to the school, and they should be economically start to be better, because if a person is economically better, that means he can sustain their needs, so they don't have always to go and ask. So in that way they will be more independent.
Aman Parier, in 2012, founded Farmhouse Nepal, that is active in the Western Development region of Nepal.
Actually, we have given a name for our association. It's a Farmhouse Nepal. That means we have a logo that is holding a plant. So we try to hold a farmer with our hand. And my desire is to work with local farmer and with farming techniques, farming activities, how we can reach women's and social issues, and there are many other social problems in the society, and we want to help a bit by bit things that we can help. So so far we have given some, we provide some vocational trainings like mushroom farming and goat farming, tailoring, so that can give skills to the girls, that can create a possibility of a job for them, and they can see their future doing something locally in their hometown. And here and there we find kids in difficulties, a very hard, tough situation. So we have given some support to students so that they can continue their school, and our small help can actually give a big opportunity for them to be a successful person or to do something great in their life, because just because of $2 or $3 a month, that makes a huge difference in Nepal. These are the things that we are doing and trying to bring some changes in the community so far that we can do.
Aman, with his association, works especially with marginalized women and children. So we asked him to give us an insight about their conditions.
Women are the one who is fully dependent on men. So they are completely 100% dependent on their husband income. They are just there to take care of a family related work. And like when I am in a different group meeting, I want to hear from them their opinion, and it is always difficult to hear from them because they don't have experience of raising their voices. So have to live a disaster, miserable life. ago, I worked as a social mobilizer together with girls who were involved in prostitution. And then I found the story behind that was always an economic problem. And then the education. So those who were uneducated, it's absolutely difficult for them to get job, but they have to survive anyway. And children who are working in a saloon, hair cutting saloon, in hotels, mostly in hotel as a cleaner. Very small boys, like 14, 15 years old boys.
In Nepal, beside economic development, gender equality is one of the major human rights concerns. We met several women's groups and cooperatives, discovering how they work in order to enhance women's empowerment. Microfinance can be a fundamental tool in this process because it provides women access to resources. We hear these considerations from the powerful voices of Vishnu Pariyar and Mrs. Kamala. Vishnu organizes training for marginalized women, while Mrs. Kamala is the head of a credit cooperative in Banepa.
Good morning, Vishnu. Thanks for being here. I would like to ask you about your work in the association and as a woman, how it is to work to help other women improving their conditions.
सबैभन्दा पहिला नमस्कार, मेरो नाम विष्णु परियार। हामीले यो गाउँको लागि गाउँमा चाहिँ महिलाहरुमा चाहिँ धेरै पिढीदेखि नै अलिकति दबाउँदै आउनु भएको छ। उहाँहरूले चाहिँ सकेसम्म हामी सबैभन्दा पहिला त हामी चाहिँ पढाइमा कमजोर भइयो। नेपालमा को आर्थिक स्थिति कमजोरको कारणले चाहिँ पढ्न पनि पाइएन र नेपालमा सबैभन्दा ठुलो चाहिँ हामी पढेनौं भने हामीले बुझ्दैनौं केही पनि। जब बुझेकै छैन भने त महिलाहरूलाई धेरै गाह्रो हुन्छ र पुरुष भन्दा पनि महिलालाई धेरै तल्लो तहमा चाहिँ उहाँहरूले राख्नु भएको छ। अघि नै पनि यो कुराहरू आएको थियो, महिलाहरूलाई चाहिँ पुरुषहरूले दबाएर हामीहरू खुलेर जिन पाउँदैनौं, खुलेर काम गर्न पाइदैन, खुलेर बोल्न पाइदैन। हामीले के इच्छाहरू आकांक्षा मनमा राखेको छ भने उहाँ व्यक्त पनि गर्न सकिदैन, किनकि तिमीहरूले के गर्न सक्छौ, के गर्छौ र तिमीहरू हिँड्यौ भने बिग्रिन्छौ, भत्किन्छौ भनेर चाहिँ हामीलाई पहिल्यै डरहरू देखाउनु भएको हुन्छ। हामीले केही सोचेर कुनै ठाउँमा गएर केही गर्न खोज्यौं भने पनि हामीले खुलेर चाहिँ गर्न पाएको छैन, पाउँदैनौं।
Thank you, धन्यवाद।
वुमेन फाउन्डेसनको इस्टाब्लिसदेखि नै हामीले इटाली फाउन्डेसनबाट सहयोग पाएका थियौँ। त्यो सहयोगबाट हामीले धेरै एक्टिभिटिजहरू गर्दैछौँ वुमेनहरूको इम्पावरको लागि। उनीहरूलाई सोसियली, इकोनोमिकली, लिगली यसरी इम्पावर हामी गर्दैछौँ, गर्ने प्रयासमा पनि छौँ। यसलाई हामी कन्टिन्यू दिनेमा पनि छौँ र यसरी नै इटालियन फाउन्डेसनबाट यो वुमेन इम्पावरको लागि यसरी हेल्प हुने हो भने हामी अझ पनि अगाडि बढ्नेछौँ भन्ने उहाँहरूलाई हामी विश्वास दिलाउन चाहन्छौँ। र यहाँहरू इटालीदेखि यहाँसम्म आइकन हामीले यी मेसेजहरू लिन आउनुभयो, उहाँहरूले सहयोग गर्नुभयो, उहाँहरूको कुराहरू हामीले सेयर गर्ने मौका पायौँ। यसको लागि उहाँलाई वुमेन फाउन्डेसनको तर्फबाट र मेरो व्यक्तिगत तर्फबाट पनि धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु।
The last days of the project were spent in Sigdupalchok district, the region of Nepal most affected by the 2015 earthquake. We joined the Sherpa community in the village of Meshipa and we stayed with them for 2 days.
Hi, we are almost at the end of our trip. We just finished to walk from Tulopakar to Meshipa. It was a pretty hard trekking, but we made it. And now we are enjoying our time with the kids of the village. That before we need a shower.
We saw that in this area of Nepal, microfinance cannot be an answer to human and economic development. There are more urgent and diverse needs that have to be addressed in different ways. Sindupalchok district is a mountainous area above 1,600 meters where 6,000 people live. Education and health services are limited to 4 schools and 1 health center. Lack of drinkable water and water for land irrigation are among the major constraints. In these years, one of the answers has been the international cooperation.
In Meshipa, we visited Sri Koldaung Devi Secondary School, damaged by the earthquake, in order to deliver the funds collected with the campaign United for Nepal 2016. This initiative has been organized in Padova by the AMA Human Rights and Multilevel Governance students with the aim to support the work of Sagarmatha International Foundation in this area.
Hello everybody, we are Angela and Elisa. We are here and we are students from the University of Padova, the master degree in Human Rights and Multilevel Governance. And after the earthquake in Nepal, we decided to organize as a group of students with our peers an event to collect money and to help our Nepalese friends and the Nepalese population.
The first event was in June 2015. We organized this event in Centro Zavarella in Padua. It was an event with second-hand market, meeting with professors and experts, bands performing, dances, music, happy hours. So it was a very wide-range event in which we collected more or less 1,000 euros, which we devoted to Sagarmatha International Foundation, which is the NGO working here who helped building this school. And there is also our contribution here, because with that amount of money we managed to build the basement for another part of the school, as it was severely damaged by the earthquake. So thanks to the success of United for Nepal campaign, we decided to make a second edition this summer and the end of June, in which we raised almost 1,000 euros. It was an event organized, as Angela was saying, by students, but also with the support of the university, of the Human Rights Center, of the Osteria Volante, and also of pubs, restaurants, and students who gave their help. So we are really glad to be here and to see what our efforts have produced there.
We had the possibility to see the progress in the reconstruction, but also to talk with the teachers about further needs for this rural school's development. We renewed the commitment and our will to further help them in the coming years.
The school is established in 2021 BS of Nepali year, and it is far than more our schools is you can see in very rural area, so we cannot get in easily in here. So you face many problems to come here, and we are trying to be more peaceful in the schools, but we fear about the earthquake again and again. So we need a very permanent place to learn, and our children were in also fear. They are in fear of earthquake, and they cannot go out of the fear. In a monsoon season, we have to face many problems. The streams are going to grow, so these children have to come from very far. So it is not easy to come to cross the river and stream also. So they feel very dangerous and they don't want to come to school regularly. Then to improve that, we have make some small bridges in the streams. So then they come here and they in such a situation our schools is going up, but we want to do more than this. So we want help of you as a friend and as a supporter also. We want to do many things to improve our learning and teaching activities. To do that, we are not sufficient as us, so we need help, and we want to say from our schools and SMC and students also keep in touch again and again, and you visit our schools and help. Your help can be big for us. Small help can be big for us, and thank you for visiting our schools.
So, have the students reached the objective of this project?
Despite difficulties we found along the way, thanks to the support of our Nepalese friends and partners, and mostly thanks to the willingness and energy expressed by the students, the three objectives of this program have been fully achieved. The first goal was to transfer knowledge, how microfinance works in developing countries. The second goal was to discover, through the direct experience and dialogue, to what extent microfinance can foster human development and what can be done wherever finance cannot be helpful. The third was also a hidden goal, living a life experience that goes beyond a pure academic achievement, to let knowledge lead to awareness. And through consciousness, we are capable to realize that by action and hush, we can actually change the world. This process has been traversed by sharing emotions, ideas, hopes, and even tears. We have realized that between our reality and the desired state of the world, there is our action. Students get inspiration for the work very soon they are starting. At that time, all knowledge and emotions collected during the trip can flourish and guide their hand and craft the world. Hence, only in the future can tell us if microfinance in action has worked to the progress and good of the humanity.
Speaking about the future of this program, Winter School Microfinance in Action will be organized even next year.
For sure, we will continue in partnership with Apex College, even strengthened by an Erasmus Plus project that provides the possibility for 4 students from Nepal to come to Padova, attending 6 months at our university. We will support Aman's Farmhouse Nepal project, and our students are fully committed to sustain Sagarmatha International Foundation. Anyway, we are open to collaborate with other institutions and associations that works in Nepal to continue to understand and discover that country.
population live below the national poverty line. Around 3/4 of the Nepal workforce is involved in the agricultural sector. Poor access to finance, basic infrastructure, market and primitive farming practice render rural areas incredibly poor. Poverty has been increased by at least 2.5% after a tremendous earthquake in 2015. Approximately 8 million people were affected by it. Nepal has a rich culture with an estimated 40 different races and tribes and an incredibly varied geography from lowland to the highest mountain in the world.
The first part of this project was aimed at receiving an academic background on microfinance as an economic development instrument. We worked together on the first week with other 8 Nepali students from the Apex College in Kathmandu. We attended lessons at the college and took part at different meetings with experts from microfinance institutions.
This is our first day in Kathmandu.
University of Padova, and now I'm here in Nuova Delhi for waiting my next plane for participating to the winter school in Nepal called Microfinance in Action. I'm so happy and eager to visit Nepal and to participate to this cycle of lesson about microfinance.
Why is so meaningful for you to bring your students to see and experience realities?
Mathematics can be learned in classes, but business ethics and human rights need a step further. It is essential to verify their effects on the field where students can meet and discuss with people and face reality.
Nepal ranks 145 out of 188 countries according to the UNDP Human Development Index. 25.2% of the Nepalese The Winter School Microfinance in Action took place from the 24th of September to the 8th of October 2016. 8 selected students from the MA in Human Rights and Multilevel Governance, accompanied by Professor Alberto Lanzavecchia and by Luca Gazzolla, flew from Milan to Kathmandu and traveled around different areas of Nepal in order to study on the field how microfinance can help developing countries in eradicating poverty and reducing inequalities in a human rights perspective.
How the idea of this project, Microfinance in Action, was born?
Human rights are designed to protect and enhance human conditions. Microfinance is an economic tool suitable for changing the life condition of people involved. Therefore, it's easy to see that natural link among finance and human rights. Taking inspiration from this simple concept, I designed an on-field learning experience around impacts of microfinance into people, their communities and environment.
Hi everyone, I am Ludovica. I am a student of the master degree in Human Rights and Multilevel Governance of the University.
We just arrived in the Apex College and we are ready to start this adventure.
Microfinance institutions are growing quickly in Nepal, affecting its market economy. Microfinance is primarily a social type of banking. It's a tool for enhancing economic development and social inclusion within the reach of everyone. The professors of Apex College, Bharat Singh Thapa and Kishore Dunanga, explain us why now is crucial to teach microfinance at a university level and why it's important to commit ourselves in this project.
I think there are 3 reasons behind starting microfinance in the university level. The first is that the career Of course, if you look at the last few years, the number of microfinance institutions now they are increasing, and if you look at the Nepalese case, in last 5 years, the number of microfinance have been double. And who are managing these microfinance companies? They are not from the microfinance, background. So the microfinance study will help the students to find a good career in the microfinance institutions to manage them well. And the second, of course, is the research opportunity in the microfinance, because there are large number of large amount of money that is going on in the microfinance development, basically from the INGOs, international donors, but the result is not as per the expected. So what is the reason behind this, and why this is happening? So if we have a study in the master's level or university level, we can have the answer of this question, and we can do something better. And third, of course, is being a human, right? We need to contribute a bit for the poor, right? So if you have a good study in the microfinance, you can serve poor with your heart, right? From your heart, and that will definitely contribute in the sustainable development goal that is recently set.
Our third day in Kathmandu. We are actually inside the Apex College, and today we will have a lesson about microfinance in Europe.